Hello, my dear friends. I've been getting these kinds of questions. So, what about those healing masters who implement even bigger structures in their practices? They do it consciously and deliberately. They actually believe it. Some are conscious imposers. I'm interested in those who think they bring light but spread harm. They wander in darkness, spreading harm. They are masters, seeing the unseen, performing miracles. In fact, they wander in darkness and carry evil. They are real masters, they see what others don't see and they work miracles. They have been practicing for decades, they have schools, students, YouTube channels, etc. So how does that work? It's a compromising question, yes, very interesting, friends. I think that in this world, everything is in its place. Everyone has their role. Well, first of all, if it's a master, it's a master, no matter what. Like the cause and effect relationships, the law of karma, it doesn't just go away. Masters, just like, I would say, demigods and gods, they still follow the law of cause and effect. So, the gods have karma. It's very well described in the Mahabharata, really well. These things are revealed in those moments. Scriptures show connections. Mahabharata shows the formation of certain connections. Yes, the oaths in the Mahabharata are really well depicted, along with other things. Yes, when there's a certain law of formation that later unfolds, what happens next? Yes, in reality we see that in life this information does not unfold well. How do the masters impose things, or maybe they don't impose anything at all? You see, the question here is whether you really need it. It's about the interaction with this person. That already says something. If you went there, it means that you, as you are, understand that you need something greater. It all depends on what he actually did with you. It will somehow unfold. It unfolds for both you and him, because nothing happens unilaterally in any interaction. It always goes from here to there, and from there to here. So you can't just give away your energy potential in one direction and not get anything back, really. That is, if this happens, then a certain karmic knot occurs, which will subsequently balance and return this potential back. Well, in the next lives, the lives after that, and so on. Masters often have skills from past lives, giving them potential and understanding of their work, who already have a certain potential. They have a clear understanding of the processes and things they work with. I respect the masters, whether they're positive or negative. The point is a person who can work on informational planes and levels. As they claim, the point is that a person who has the ability to work, who can operate on certain informational planes and levels, this is a person who didn't just gain access to this power for no reason. Most often, strength comes from understanding your own weakness, from realizing your own limitations, from understanding your own moment. When a person is truly vulnerable, when they really, let's say, become aware of themselves, where they are and who they are, only after that is some kind of growth, some kind of movement possible. It doesn't matter which direction he's moving. A negative system is also growth. I respect those people. I understand that they made their choice. Moreover, what gets shown is one thing, but in reality, a different turn of events is happening. They say one thing, but do another, but it is what it is. I say it's important to look at the results, at the aftertaste of the work. If you want to understand what kind of master is in front of you and how the work is actually done, in what hierarchy, you should look at the results, not at the work itself. Because the work can vary depending on what kind of psychological trauma is being unpacked or what level is being addressed. This is the tension, the external, informational one. So it can be a strong feeling, or there might not be any feelings at all. But the work is even more complicated than what you might call, well, based on sensations and emotions. Reactions vary. What matters is the days and months after. But that doesn't mean the person didn't do anything. The important point is what happens next, the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day, a month, 2 years. So, was there that moment before and after? Was there a moment when things were one way? Before. The person's understanding of the world improved. Positive changes followed, saying, I focused, stabilized, grounded myself, and all the nonsense, and crazy thoughts disappeared. Now, they see the world clearly. Their health and finances improved. Relationships with parents are better. This shows progress. And now I started to see the world in the right light. That is, this indicates that the correct work is going on after taste. And if a person has it, after taste, that is, all the work was cool and awesome, everyone was crying, everyone was laughing in ecstasy, everyone was fighting in such unity, love, and then bam! A guy falls off his bike, breaks his leg, and then, I don't know, his phone gets stolen, and something else goes wrong. So, there's some real mental load, like getting into trouble somewhere, getting fined, or dealing with some arguments and other stuff. So, the result is the outcome of that negative energy unfolding, that negativity. You know, the energy. A person can carry a lot of baggage, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's positive. So, you need to look at the aftertaste. Usually, it's positive energy. Well, like our money, she is not simple. It doesn't just lie around on the street like that. You see, you can't just walk down the street and find $1 million. Well, that seems a bit questionable, doesn't it? It's strange, really surprising. So, it's unlikely that will happen. But, what if you find some change? Well, you won't go around collecting this little stuff there. Health is energy. If a master promises, judge structures. Understand our talk. You say, look at structures, but can you see? And just like that, no one is going to give you anything. Because everyone wants to be healthy, everyone wants to be happy, and everyone wants that wealth for themselves, first and foremost. So, if you're reaching out to a master, and if the master promises you something, you need to judge what kind of structures they're putting on you. To do that, you have to understand what we're talking about. So, you're saying they're putting on these structures, but can you actually see those structures? Do you know specifically who is doing what? What kind of structures are they putting on? What kind of aftertaste do people have from this? So, do they end up working with those structures? It's not working. Positive ones are initiations, not positive ones. What frequencies are there? What is their amplitude? What is their source, etc.? That is, there are many nuances. To talk about these things, you need to touch on the topic a bit yourself and study it. I'll tell you one thing, fools on this path quickly end up hurting themselves because they jump in with their own ideas. They think they know what can be done, what can't be done, what they'll achieve, and what they won't. You have to understand that the laws up there weren't just created for no reason. About what can be done, what can't be done, what they can achieve now, and what they can't. You understand correctly, the laws at the top were created for a reason. It is impossible to obtain enormous strength, walk in a row. Everyone's out there building structures, spreading negativity, broadcasting from YouTube and all that, and still expecting to stay alive and healthy. That's just impossible. If this happens to someone, it means good karma brings results. So, most likely, the impact he's having is positive, and the positive karma he carries, the work he's doing, it brings results in his life too. It gives him a karmic, positive return, just like he creates for others in his life. It doesn't work that way where a person does evil, hides behind good, and everything goes well for them for decades. It's just unreal. All of this will come out much faster. You understand. Yeah. There are things you can't really say just from the first touch. The world of energy is very strange and complex, full of contradictions. There are many things that nourish a person, and they might seem questionable to society. So, people enter some kind of trance state. People are screaming, people are moaning, people are doing all sorts of things. And from the standpoint of basic ethics and morality, it all seems extremely crazy. Some kind of schizophrenical story. But in fact, you look at the result. Look at the results after dynamic Osho meditation. Yes, it's questionable. And I'm against group sessions, especially with those who don't understand what's really going on or control spirits. However, if meditation is done one-on-one with truly engaged individuals, it can yield good results. Consider no-dimensional or Nataraj, it's just dance, doing whatever you want. In one person, people who are truly involved, people who are truly totally going into the process, this meditation gives very good results. Take no-dimensional, take Nataraj. It's just dance, you just dance, doing whatever you want. It's not about people looking at you and saying, wow, that's so cool, but rather about what you want, how you want to move. This could be very. It looks strange from the outside, but the result that a person gets for his psyche is beneficial because he unloads a large number of subconscious, deep-seated emotional and psychological patterns that are stuck in him. This process helps in releasing these embedded program structures within the subconscious mind, so there is nothing to worry about. I believe that focusing on the fact that there are certainly bad masters out there is not really a grateful task. Yeah, definitely focus on your own practice, and you'll absolutely gain those cities for yourself. You'll uncover your own vision, you'll learn to work independently, and you'll learn to channel that power and interact with it. And then you can ponder who is passing what to whom, and who is good and who thinks they're good. That they are good, but they do evil. You see, it's not just like that. Most often, it's people who do evil. They end up in this evil themselves. That's the reality of this world. And if they don't fall into that evil, there are also certain reasons for that. So, everything in this world isn't just random, based on the people I've seen. Yeah, who really works with black magic. Well, you can tell they're not mentally stable. These are people, psychopaths. They really throw tantrums, they're emotionally all over the place. They often get angry. People who work in a positive direction are usually calm and positive, on the contrary. Yeah, there are those who present themselves as calm, positive, engaged, and aware, but they're actually doing something else. But in any case, it's a short time. It's happening. And people who do such things end up in situations that all of this comes back to bite them. That's it. And I see this world as a self-balancing system. Nothing ever happens. That you're giving, and not taking anything in. Return anywhere. And nothing ever happens in return. This world strives for harmony and balance, and it exists only because that this harmony and balance, in principle, exist. So that the unmanifested part of a person, which definitely exists because there's a manifested part of a person, is more interesting from a psychological perspective, in terms of mental expressions, than the manifested part. And at the same time, they intersect, they're interconnected, and there can't be one without the other. If a person is physically tense, really tense, they can't be relaxed. Mentally, that's impossible. If a person is flexible, if a person is physically relaxed, which is actually very easy to diagnose, just take a person by the shoulder and give them a little shake. so you can see if there's tension, or if he, as they say, truly trusts the universe. Friends, don't be afraid, try things out. Look for your mentors, pay close attention to them, move forward, learn, gain knowledge, and keep pushing ahead. If you have a sincere request, a pure one, a genuine request for what is indeed called growth and development, for what is truly called receiving the pure light of knowledge from this vast universe, you will absolutely, undoubtedly find the person you need at that very moment, and they will give you exactly and precisely the lessons you need, without a doubt. Right now, trust the universe for all the best.